Thomas, hello.
Hi, Jerry.
Any fresh injury or illness news after Chelsea? And what about Hickey and Nunes? Are they ready to play?
No new injury news. So everyone that was available for Chelsea is available again, so that's positive. The three guys that are getting closer. Hickey, Thiago a little bit further away, and Gustavo are progressing and going in the right direction. Gustavo is the one who is the closest one of the three. Let's see.
You were giving an interview in Denmark, I think, on Monday, suggesting that Christian Eriksen might possibly be someone you'd like to bring back here. Is that true?
A lot can you get lost in translation, you know that. So I had a media session thing with the Danish media, and of course the question came out about Christian because he's a very important player for Denmark, and they know the connection between Christian and I and all that. So just to put a few words on it, Christian is a very good player. We're always open for very good players to join. What he will do in the future, I don't know. What we will do in the future, I don't know. Let's see.
His contract's running out at United. He's 33. Do you have the sense he wants to stay in the Premier League?
That I actually don't know. I think it's fair to say that he has had his years in the Premier League, so maybe he will want to try another league, or go back to where it started in Ajax more or less. So let's see.
So it's Arsenal next. They've destroyed Real Madrid this week, and Declan Rice has turned into David Beckham. What did you make of it all?
Unbelievably impressive performance. I actually went to the game to watch it. Great performance from Arsenal. I think they truly well deserved the win. Two fantastic free kick from Declan Rice. The first one, clever, bent it around the wall. You can see there was opportunities for that. And the second one is absolutely screamer. Top corner, wow. They performed well. I think you can see that Arsenal got that unbelievable level that they can go to if they hit the highest level. And they definitely hit that against Real Madrid.
But they're in between ties, the first leg and the second leg, so maybe they're resting players. Can you capitalise, do you think, and win at Arsenal for the first time in the Premier League?
Yeah. I think no matter who they will put on the pitch, will be very strong, good players. And I don't know what their team will put out. I know one thing, they'll put a strong team out, and it'll be a difficult game. But yeah, we believe in ourselves and trust ourselves, and we done quite well there the last two games. I think we lost 2-1 in a very narrow game last time. I could potentially got something out of it, and I think we drew 1-1 the year before. Difficult place, great players. I think Arteta is a great manager, and his coaching team, I think they got a lot of details and principles into the team, and I like what they do. They prepare in all areas of the game. They're very good at defending. They're very good at attacking, and not only attacking, all the phases from building up to phase 2 to phase 3 to so they got all the phases covered with principles.
Thomas, there are 7 games left. You're 12 on 42 points. One win in the last 5. There are plenty of big teams below you. But where is the season going now with 7 left?
Hopefully 7 wins. That would be nice. But let's start one game at a time, and we go to Arsenal, Emirates, and do what we can to try to get a result. And a great result will be winning. Arsenal are favourites, and it will be difficult, but that's the first game, and then we'll take it from there.
Just finally, Mark Flecken this week has been ranked as the 5th best goalkeeper in the world. Quite surprising, only 5 clean sheets this season, but is it surprising? I mean, how good is he?
I think Mark is very good, and I think he's been fantastic for us the 2 years he's been here, especially this year. I think he's taken a step up. I think we spoke about that a few times before. I think his distribution is fantastic in terms of the shorter passing, the longer passing, the decision making. I think his 1v1s are also at an extremely high level. And then overall, I think he's good. Just to pinpoint 2 areas where I think he really stands out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thomas, firstly, good afternoon. Off the back of that game that you watched at the Emirates Stadium where Declan Rice obviously scored those 2 fantastic free kicks, have you particularly looked at that and looked at trying to defend against something like that should that pop up again this weekend?
I think the second one is very difficult to defend. Yeah, we can avoid giving a free kick away. Let's avoid giving soft fouls away, of course. And the first one, I hope that our wall will be a little bit different, so you can't go around on that side. That'll be my expectations. Yeah, let's just avoid fouls.
Another player who scored on Tuesday night was Mikel Merino, who has been converted into a number 9, and he seems to be taking on that role really well. How do you defend against a player who obviously is playing up front, but obviously likes to drop deep into those spaces?
I think Merino's done very well. I think he's actually very good in the box, finding good positions and got great heading abilities. He's without saying that he's a clear false number 9, but he's probably is a midfielder rather than a striker. So when him dropping into midfield, need to be aware of that if he starts.
Indeed. In terms of, you mentioned obviously you're hoping for 7 wins to end the season off strongly. What would be a good finish for you and the team? If you could have the perfect sort of end to the season now, where do you feel that you would like to see your team finish?
Yeah, of course we want to dream and end as high as possible, and I think there's lots to play for. Of course we want to aim high and dream high, but I think it's so important to have that laser focus on the next game, and then we hope that we create a lot of dreams and let the fans dream massively and give them hope and all that, and we can only do that by winning games. So let's start with one at a time.
And finally from me, it's a retro shirt day here at Brentford, I'm told. I just wondered which shirt you chose to come to the training ground in today.
The interesting thing is that I actually had a big note on my table, so at home, remember a football shirt, forgot, but Bob, our kit man, he sold me out with a Roberto Baggio from '94, so legendary player. Would probably either have picked Michael Laudrup from '92 in the Barcelona shirt with number 9 on the back. That would have been my favourite one.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Who's next?
Hi Thomas. I just want to start with Miles Lewis-Skelly. Obviously, another unbelievable performance. I wonder what you've made of this season.
He's done well. Definitely. Very talented player. They can play different positions. I like his directness, the way he drives forward with the ball, carry the ball forward. His technical abilities and decision making. So, very good player.
And he's a player who didn't necessarily start out at left back, but found that position a little bit like Lewis Potter. I wondered, in terms of Lewis Potter's development, what has he brought from sort of playing out on the wing to this position at left back?
Lewis Potter.
Yeah.
I think the one thing is that he, as a winger, he's very good to go forward. What I like, not that fullbacks can't do that, but I think Lewis Potter got a little bit the same we just talked about, or Lewis-Skelly got a little bit the same as Lewis Potter in terms of driving forward with the ball. And that means that you just win maybe 20, 30 yards quick, get further up the pitch, and then you can start your attack there. And then, of course, for Keane, when he got the wide position, he is in a good position for going 1-on-1 and produce crosses. So I think that's a big thing. Then I like his composure on the ball as well.
And then I wanted to bring it back to Mark Flecken. Obviously, he's had a really, really good season. And one thing that I've noticed is his confidence in terms of how authoritative he is this season compared to last. Is that an improvement that you've seen?
I think any player, no matter how old you are, more or less. Of course, if you're more experienced, maybe you can easily set in. But we're all human beings that coming in maybe into a new environment, new club, new country, and I think he's definitely grown in confidence this year. Even more believing in himself. Not that he didn't have it last year. I think we all need that bit of belief in ourselves, and I like what I see from him.
And I think he's also benefited a little bit from the consistency at the back. So obviously, sort of Lewis Potter's played a lot, Collins has played a lot, Vandenberg's played a lot. Is that something that basically he's really sort of taken from? Is the idea that he's got a defence in front of him that's settled?
I think the whole team has benefited from it, but of course I agree with the back four has been more stable and the same this season, where I don't know how many left backs I've tried, 4, 5, something like that, where it's been more Keane this year more or less, or Christoph Ayer. And I agree with Nathan and Seb played a lot of games, Ethan playing a lot of games, so it's been more stable all the way around, and that helps everyone, including Mark.
Yeah, brilliant, thank you.
Welcome.
Anything else? Yes. So, hi Thomas.
Hi.
So, firstly, you're in the middle of a really difficult run. So, a couple of really good teams. You've got Chelsea, you've got Arsenal, Nottingham Forest coming up as well. Over the past few weeks, you faced Villa as well. So, what have you learnt about your team during this difficult run of fixtures?
I think it's a good question. I think we're very consistent in our performances, and I think we showed again that we can compete against any team in this division. You say Villa, let's say Newcastle, and Chelsea. The three reasons you say whatever. I think those are the three. As I understood, those were the three clubs you mentioned. All three games were completely even. All three of them we could have won. Unfortunately, we are losing narrowly to Villa 1-0, 2-1 to Villa and 0-0 against Chelsea. And I think, honestly, that we're very close to be able to win all three of them, and that can change the season, of course. But what is the most important thing is the performances we put out there against these three very, very good clubs and good managers, and I like what I saw from the team.
Secondly, this is a side which is very good with the ball, very rhythmic, like to play out from the back, of course, very high intensity. How do you adapt your, say, counter-pressing style to match a team like Arsenal?
Like Arsenal?
Yes.
I agree, they're very good on the ball, they're very good of finding their offensive structure in their phase 1 and in their phase 2. And it's how we defend in those situations. I think there's no secret, like to go as much into high pressure as we can, but we're also very aware that there will be spells in the game where we need to defend deep and low, and do that well.
And Mikkel Damsgaard is a player who has really stepped up this season with and he's already had double digits assists, I think, in the Premier League. So what are some of the other attributes that you were looking to improve upon in his game?
For Damsgaard, I think besides the assist, I think he makes our game tick, if that makes sense. If he's on it, he's finding solutions, he's getting rhythm into the game, so I think that's very important. I think the easy thing is to say that we need to score more goals, so that's definitely one of it, and one of the areas he could improve. But also in spells, I think he's close to be the main man offensively, but he could probably take even more responsibility there.
And just one last question from my side. So, Thomas, over the past month or so, there have been some goals which have been conceded very late on in the match. So, the game against Everton, Spurs, and I think Newcastle, 74th to 90th minutes, in the last 15 minutes basically. So, is it just late game fatigue that it is down to, or do you think the defense struggles when the game is more stretched?
I don't think it's anything to do with tiredness, but I think all three were relatively not late, but not early. But I know what you mean. I think between 74th minute to 80, something like that, 90. Yeah, but so I don't think it's anything to do with fatigue. I think no team every team, you know, when you stretch, there's more spaces. But some of the goals I recognize was definitely the Everton. We got everyone behind the ball and basically just should have defended the situation better. So I don't think there's a specific pattern in it.
Got it. That's all.
Okay.
Anything else before we wrap up? Yes.
Can I get? So Declan Rice takes free kicks with his right foot, but usually Odegaard takes them with his left foot. Has the game in the week kind of changed up how you're going to defend set pieces against Arsenal?
No, we knew they were, or that we know that they are very good at set pieces. We knew that before the game, and we definitely know it now. So we prepare, as done the whole time, to Arsenal with the biggest respect and expect a big pressure there, but also confident that we can handle it.
And you're a manager that likes to change up the way they play depending on who you're playing against. Is it so that you're going to play more defensively this weekend?
I would like to play as offensive as possible. I think we need to defend a bit against Arsenal on Saturday, but the times we defend, we need to do that well. Can we see if we can do it, you know, a little bit more away from the goal than not get pressed too much back in? But that will be difficult. So hopefully we can be in as much as possible in middle pressure and high pressure.
And finally, it looks like they might rotate because of the Champions League game. Do you have to prepare differently for a game where that they might play different players to how they usually would and how you're usually watching the tapes of their previous performances?
I think two things. One, no matter who players they will put out there, will be good players and be a good team we will face. They play the same style with the same principles no matter who's on the pitch. It can just change a little bit who's there, who's coming in a, let's say, 3-2 build-up and stuff like that. So there's a few positional changes, but the overall structure and principles will be the same from them.
Thank you, Thomas.
You're welcome.